Well, good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Oh my goodness, we are back here. It is so good to be back here at the Man Cave. I have been gone so much, working on the Red Brick House and going, of course, to the Hall of Fame, getting back last night. I feel like, there is something missing now. I miss my buddy, Game Time Brian, so I'm going to have to make sure I tune in tonight at 7 o'clock to see him and Game Time and Prime Time together on their live stream. It was a great trip that we had together, going to Canton, to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I know the game was not great, but it was just great to be, around the Pro Football Hall of Fame, to be around the great players in the NFL, and, to actually see and know that we're only 32 days, 10 hours, and 50 seconds away from kickoff of the season. And so that was great. Shout out to all of you great people out there, because when Brian came to the house, Brian's a new YouTuber, okay? It's hard. It is really hard because YouTube is now like the wild, wild west, where television personalities and journalists, those guys who, kind of looked down upon us YouTubers years ago because we weren't real media. We didn't go to school for journalism. We hadn't, put in our time writing for newspapers or being on radio or, and writing in the magazines and stuff. But as those things kind of become less important and die out, the YouTube has grown. And so now it's like the gold rush. Everybody is coming to YouTube. So it's hard to get traction. And the sad thing is there's a lot of great people out there that bring you very great news and numbers and statistics and facts, as good and in some cases even better than what you have from the journalists. So I'm doing what I can to help others. We have my man, Space Cowboy Media, who his statistics I'll put against ESPN. And we have my man, Game Time, here, and he was at 180 subscribers. Starting out, just getting there. And he said it would be great if we could get to 300 by the end of the holiday. I call it a holiday. Well, going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and football coming was like a holiday. But by the Hall of Fame weekend, to get to 300. Well, we tore that barrier down. And he crossed over 400 this morning when he woke up. So shout out to all you great people. If we can get him to 500, he's got to do the Pacquiao chip. And we all know in social media what people love to see. Y'all love to see pain. And trust me, that chip is pain. So let's keep it up. Let's see if we can get him there to 500. And check out, don't look at the number of subscribers. Just at least give a person a chance. Listen to it. Forget the number that's there. Listen to him, give him a chance and see, is that your flavor? Maybe it's not, and keep on moving, but give him a chance. Now, I will say one of the craziest things that has happened is I was coming back with my man, Game Time, and we were listening to the opposition. It's almost comical because they always say that Cowboy fans are in trolling the Eagles. Now, I actually went in, we watched Philly's podcast, and I'm looking for all the Cowboy trolls that are in there, and I didn't see any. I went in there and was actually nice, and I'm getting all kinds of hate like crazy. But at the end of the broadcast, maybe it was karma. I called into Philly 500, and if you want to see the whole, I've got the whole clip from this thing. This stuff, I don't know what's going on in Philly. But let me give you a taste of what they are doing in Philadelphia. Now keep in mind, these are the same people who ate horse crap after they won the Super Bowl.
Throw up everywhere. You get dizzy. You probably throw up everywhere.
You have to do that thing, man. You get the
dude. All right, you need to stop.
That's what they do. You get the.
You look like you're doing something else. Just stop.
That's what they do. That's why I have a friend. That's all time. All you hear from him.
Sorry. Let me start it over because you
I
probably
don't even pack and throw up everywhere. You get dizzy, you probably throw up everywhere.
You have to do that thing when you get the.
Yeah, dude. All right, you need to stop.
That's what they do. You get the.
You look like you're doing something else. Just stop.
That's what they do.
What are you doing, Philly?
Friend. That's all time. All you hear from him.
I know, make it so obvious. I don't even pack anymore like that. Pause, but
he doesn't pack anymore. What? What the? What?
That's what it's called. It's called patching.
Joey's pack. You pack.
What the? Can somebody explain? Can somebody explain to me what the hell is going on around here? I don't know what. It got worse. It got worse because I called in. I literally called into the show and said, "What the hell is going on here with you guys?" And Philly was just so messed up. He couldn't even play his troll clips of me. So definitely check that video out because that was cray-cray. That was cray-cray. He definitely gave us plenty of material. Oh, my, you're going to be seeing quite a few clips from that. All right, so now that we're back from the Pro Football Hall of Fame and seeing the greats, the 371 greatest players, front office, owners, and things in the history of football. When you think of has to be over 30,000 people who have been part of football as players and things. They boiled it down to 371. The chances of making it there are not good. Now, Micah Parsons, I don't know how I feel about Micah Parsons with all of the talk. Jimmy Johnson said, who's in the Hall of Fame, if you're going to talk the talk, then walk the walk. Flat out. Micah Parsons got a lot of walking to do. Yesterday, on the heels of the induction ceremonies of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Micah Parsons kind of threw a little shade at Lawrence Taylor, or says he's got more tools than Lawrence Taylor. Let me read the quotes to you. I don't just want to make the Hall of Fame. I want to be known as one of the greatest Hall of Famers. These categories to everything. There's good, there's great, and then there's perfect. I don't just want to be mentioned in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's a great accolade, but I want to be one of the greatest in the Hall of Fame. Wow. Also, let me read the other one. This is where you start saying, man, don't just maybe you need to chill a little bit. Micah Parsons saying that Lawrence Taylor couldn't cover Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Chase Edmonds, but I think I can. I wish Rashid was here right now because Rashid would be going, "Are you serious?" He'd be rolling his eyes. He'd be going crazy and things. But hold on, okay? You know, people say I'm a spin doctor, that I'm always going to find an angle on it. He does have a point in what he's doing. Now, see, hold on before y'all all go crazy. I know that you know, Bad Dog's gonna literally go crazy. You know, he's gonna go in a rage and, you know, break the camera and say Mark Holmes is crazy and smoking crack and all that. I know Rashid, when he gets back, is like going to be rolling his eyes and, oh, Jesus Christ. But here's the thing that you have to understand. Lawrence Taylor, one of the greatest of all times, revolutionized the position of linebacker. He was something totally different than what we had ever had coming before him. He changed the game because you had to account for that guy. His speed, his quickness, his moves, his tenacity, his way of getting to the quarterback and just killing him. That's not to say we didn't have great guys like, invented the head slap. Deacon Jones, who says if you check the film, 28 sacks. Or Gino Marchetti, who had allegedly 11 sacks in one game before the term was even coined, before they started keeping statistics like they do now. See, all you young people will go through and you follow all these statistics like nerds and things and think that the world just began 10 years ago. But you had greatness that's unbelievable. People don't understand, believe it or not, that the Dallas Cowboys under Danny White, their most highest scoring offensive output was with Danny White. Yeah. Be that as it may, you kind of have to look at Micah Parsons and say, he's a Swiss Army knife that is great in all of them. There hasn't been a guy who started out as just a straight linebacker and was really good at it, and his rookie year had to be put into being an edge rusher. And when they say he may play 8 different positions on the defense, yeah, that wasn't joking. That wasn't hyperbole. He is a guy that you can put anywhere and will do damage. So you could look at that and say, is he an edge rusher? Is he a linebacker? Is he an ultimate weapon? It's feasible. And the Giant fans that your heads are exploding right now, just be cool. Just be, nobody is taking anything away from the great Lawrence Taylor. Nobody is. Nobody is. But you look at this at the evolution, because things change. Because now football has changed. Football has changed from being the ground and pound where running backs were king to now where you've got to be able to tackle the quarterback or cover the receivers, the tight ends, and everything else. That he is the best of this evolution. Lawrence Taylor was the best of that era without a doubt. Without a doubt. Before we get to Hall of Fame, before we start talking about Hall of Fame, though, 2 years is not enough to make a Hall of Fame career. Because I can look at you and say, Bo Jackson was one of the most incredible running backs that I've ever seen in my life, but he's not there in Canton. Because unfortunately, he didn't make it long enough. So we can project and think and strive. And Micah Parsons is that very much goal-oriented guy that is, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it or die trying. So Micah Parsons got a whole lot. He has put a bullseye on his back. People are going to want to shut him up. We'll have to wait and see if they can. So we had the blue and white scrimmage yesterday, which went really good. No injuries. And the thing that's really kind of cool, because we have the Eagle fans and stuff that are out there, they're going crazy and the talking heads, they're focusing in on, one play. Oh my God, there's an interception by Dak, and ignoring others. Sometimes in drills and things, you have things that are set up so that way it's easy for the quarterback. So you can actually get the feel of the plays and things, okay? And so you're not challenging them. It's kind of like one-on-one drills. You'll see, oh, man, because I remember last year, oh, my God, Diggs is getting beat, man. Did you see that? Well, that's a one-on-one drill. But the defense isn't played like that because a lot of times you're going to have safety help over the top. It's going to be a zone, so it's not exactly a game full speed thing. So we're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. And sometimes you're putting people out there on an island to see what they can do. Sometimes they're going to perform great, sometimes they're not. But it's a learning tool. These are not games, but people are treating the practices like games. Everybody has good games, everybody has bad games. Everybody has good practices, everybody has bad practices. So the key on practice is learning and staying healthy. And the Cowboys have done that. And I'll also say that you think about Dak Prescott and his offense are going against a defense that has potential to be the best defense in football. If they end up being the best defense in football, that means everybody that they play won't be as good as the defense they're facing in practice. You follow me right there? Diggs, 17 interceptions over the last 3 years, leading the NFL. It's the reason why he's got 17 interceptions in 3 years. He's really good. Stephon Gilmore, former NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons, Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, and so on. You got guys that are playing lights out, and they're going at it. They're talking trash. They're having fun. They're trying to get up over on them. So sometimes you're going to see the defense get over on the offense. Sometimes you're going to see the offense get over on the defense. But when they get on the field against others, oh, Nelly, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I believe I'm going to do a Philly 500. I think that a lot of these talking heads that have talked so much trash about my Cowboys are going to be eating crow. You know the thing I love? They always come up with something. Now, I don't remember seeing Josh Allen riding a buffalo. Do you guys remember seeing that? Anybody seen that? I don't remember seeing Derek Carr like on a Mardi Gras float. Right? Do you see that? I have not seen that. Okay? I haven't seen, Kansas City. I haven't seen Kansas City, the Chiefs ride. I haven't seen, Pat Mahomes, cartoons of him on a horse. But here we got Cowboy Up. Let's listen to and see what they had to say about my Cowboys.
His first season as the Cowboys offensive play caller. Now, McCarthy has some familiarity calling plays dating back to his time in Green Bay, and he compared what building an offense with Dak is like to the days of building one with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities, as far as you look at Dak's investment. Obviously Aaron and Brett and Joe Montana, and I go back to that, they were able to play in the same system their whole career. When I look at Dak, I think he's entering that phase of his career where he has complete understanding of the offense, but where he is today is because the changes we have made, he just needs reps in them.
Okay, so earlier this week, Jerry Jones said this on 96.7 The Ticket in Dallas of the new offense under Mike McCarthy. It's Dak friendly. He's going to have an offensive line that's going to be able to protect him better. He's going to have less to do before the snap and less to read after the snap. We're going to be excited about how it protects Dak and how it actually helps efficiency for Dak. So, Grouse, you've been spending your time camping all over the country, staying in the finest hotels. You were with the Cowboys. What's your biggest takeaway from the game?
One thing I want to say
Are you talking to me?
Jerry Jones,
or are you talking to Dan?
Dan.
Oh, okay. Because Ryan, everywhere I go, everybody says Ryan Clark was here the other day. He's a celebrity. People are very excited to see him. So one thing is, Jerry Jones quote about that, Dak, I had been to Chargers the day before, and Brandon Staley told me the best thing about Kellen Moore was that he makes life easy for the quarterback, that he doesn't bog the quarterback. So it's interesting how perspectives change depending on who's working where. In terms of Cowboys, look, yes, this is a big thing with McCarthy calling the plays. being the voice in Dak Prescott's ear. It's the first time Dak Prescott hasn't had Kellen Moore with him. Remember, he was the backup quarterback when Dak started, and then he moved on to the coaching staff. So a lot of change, and I think they're going to use, preseason games to the extent that Dak plays in them as a way of maybe practicing that, with live action going on. But one big thing that stood out, the Cowboys they made 2 trades for veterans. That Brandon Cooks, the wide receiver, Stephon Gilmore at cornerback. Multiple people I talked to in the front office on the coaching staff said not only have those guys looked good in practice, but they've really kind of pleasantly surprised everybody with how much they've brought to the table as sort of locker room presences, as leader types. And they feel like that's just sort of, these are 2 guys that are going to help sort of the culture around there as well as help them on the field.
Okay, so they're adding more pieces to try to build up anything they can do to get to be a Super Bowl team and put themselves in that perspective. Sheffy, I want to come to you because I think part of the Dak-friendly comment is being taken as maybe they don't have complete confidence in Dak. He's still got 2 more years on his deal. Where's the extension? There's all this talk about, do they really fully believe him, think he's the guy that can lead him to Super Bowl glory? What are you making and hearing about all that kind of stuff?
Joe, I definitely think that they believe in him, and I think they're behind him, and I think they're going to try to restructure that contract. Jerry Jones has already said that they would like to get that done. They kind of need to get that done from a cap standpoint. And I don't think this team and Dak have reached the levels that they'd like, but I don't think it's a reflection of where they're at. Now, again, Ryan Clark stood in the tower with Jerry and Stephen Jones, so he can offer insight that I can't even offer. I'm going to Cowboys camp this week. I don't know that I'll get the invite into the tower like Ryan, but maybe I'll get the chance to get a little bit of access like he did. But listen. Ryan Clark has a very impressive chest when he opens up his shirt there. And I think that's one of the reasons that he was in that tower. And so he knows things here that we don't.
I don't need to do push-ups.
But I do think they absolutely believe in Dak Prescott. They're absolutely behind him. And this will be another chance to validate that belief in him this season.
RC, from your tower in Dallas, you'll get the final word.
His perch.
Yeah,
his perch,
it
Ryan.
was just
His
me. It was just me, Jerry, Steven, just kind of cooling out, talking to some trainers about who went down at practice and just reminiscing on the old days of Charles Haley and guys like that. That's not just playing. I think, though, when you look at what the Cowboys are now, they're a complete team. And so much focus has been
they're a complete team.
Dak Prescott. And we've taken everything that we've heard out of training camp or in the offseason from Mike McCarthy as if they don't have confidence in who Dak Prescott is or who he can be. And let's be honest, guys, every offense should be quarterback friendly.
There you go.
Every offense should be tailored around what your quarterback does good. It should all be tailored around protecting him. It should be tailored around putting him in advantageous situations. So to say that they want it to be Dak friendly is to say we want to run efficient offense.
Amen.
That's what Mike McCarthy has to get to. Tony Pollard needs to be used efficiently. Brandon Cooks needs to take the top off of defenses. CeeDee Lamb has to continue growing into the #1 wide receiver that we've watched him grow into. And you have a defense that's absolutely going to have a guy, Micah Parsons, who will be in the MVP conversation. And to the point that Dan made about Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks, I was talking to Trayvon Diggs throughout that practice because he was on the side with a little injury, and he said, the things I've learned from 21, who is Stephon Gilmore, are absolutely going to make me a better player. And being opposite of Brandon Cooks and having to understand that speed and his ability to break down in routes is going to improve my game.
There you go.
They've made additions on this team, albeit small, and I expect those things to pay off. Let's not sleep on the Dallas Cowboys and just use them every day in the A's because they're fun to talk about. This could be a team that's competing to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, and look, Adam,
clearly
Dan,
RC.
Go ahead.
Well, wait. Clearly RC's drinking the Jones Kool-Aid. He's drinking the Kool-Aid that they served him up in the perch. There's no doubt about it. He's all in on the Cowboys right now.
They did.
All right. We'll see what they have going. And let me finish off. I think this might be the right spot, but definitely check out more.
Just giving him more ammo.
You're the one that said you swallowed. I didn't say that.
I didn't say swallow dip, not just swallow. I said swallow dip. It's different.
Dip. Not there. Dip. because otherwise it sounds like something else. Yeah.
Swallowed. Yep.
I don't know what's going on in Philly.
Yes. And with that, we better get out of here because we're gonna be getting so many comments on today's video. It's gonna be ridiculous. But all right, guys.
Yeah, I think so. I'm Mark Holmes, and I hope you have a great Sunday. We'll be here at 5 o'clock Eastern for our live stream call-in show, and we got a lot to talk about. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you guys soon. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting,